Hey, it's Jennifer Jones. Friends call me JJ. This platform is designed for a new leader that wants to become a great leader in the modern workplace. Over the last 15 years, I've learned valuable lessons that I want to share with you to get you there ASAP. When the leader gets better, we all get better. It's Monday again. Welcome to the Virtual Leadership Coffee Chat. If you don't already have it, go grab that cup of coffee, maybe that cup of tea. If it's a little late at night and you want a glass of wine, it's all right with me. You can always push pause. Let's go. Hey, y'all, welcome back. It's been a while. Have you missed me? I've missed you all. I hope that you all have used the last few weeks to get caught up on episodes that you have missed. I have leveraged the last few weeks to get caught up with life. I now have a 6-year-old, and he is soon graduating from kindergarten. I was about to say high school. Could you imagine? And so now here I am. So welcome back. And I'm really excited to pick up this next chapter. So when we met last time, we focused on priority development and really talked about how important setting your priorities for your people is critical to your ability to manage, lead, and to develop them as you navigate the priorities of your organization. But the reality is that oftentimes we develop priorities, they're on a piece of paper, and we actually never look at them again until either someone asks us for them, or we're at our end of year review. And so for the next few episodes, I want to talk about how you take priorities and actually turn them into actual deliverables. Go figure. There's an adage that says, if you fail to plan, you can plan to fail. Oftentimes when we have a priority or there's something that we want to get done, we immediately get to doing tactics, right? Because that's easy. I'll go get these 5 or 6 things done. But we haven't taken the time to really put pen to paper or put strokes on a keyboard to say, here is what I want to do. Here is the plan that I want to execute that's going to help me deliver on the priority identified by my manager. So the work we're going to do over the coming weeks is to help you work with your employee or your direct report in the development of a plan that will help them lead to priority accomplishments. So first and foremost, you have to be clear on the problem that you want to solve. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that here shortly, but that is important because it's one thing to say, here's the priority, but if folks don't understand what I'm trying to solve, they could be thinking they're solving a certain problem, but it's not actually aligned to the actual deliverable tied to that priority. The second thing is that you want to make sure that folks are aligned on the plan. Very seldom do you have a priority on your list that only you are required to do work to actually execute. So when you think about having something on paper, a plan on paper, it helps you to align all of those resources, all of those functions, all of those team members necessary to actually accomplish that priority and achieve a success with the plan. And last but not least, it has to be achievable. So again, if we jump to tactics and we haven't fully defined the problem, we haven't fully aligned on the recommendations, we will find ourselves doing a lot of work and could get to the end and actually not achieve the priority as defined. So for the coming weeks, I'm going to use an example that we want to grow the revenue of Mario Kart. Okay, here's why. My son just got a Nintendo Switch and it's like recency bias. So if you had a individual in your team and you declare their number one priority is to grow the revenue of that particular game, I'm going to walk you through how you can develop a plan to do so. So as I said, the first and foremost step you must take, get your pens and paper out or pause and go grab one, is you have to understand what is the problem you're solving. You can't just say grow revenue, but you don't really understand why did we choose Mario Kart and not Tetris? And then you also need to explain what performance measures, when we say grow revenue, what does that mean? Does that mean that we're just simply looking for them to raise pricing? Does that mean that we want them to increase the number of users? What exactly do we mean? What problem are we trying to solve? What does success look like? And the other part that's important to understand is what is the context? What is the environment? Why are we choosing Mario Kart as the number one area of focus for this individual to drive growth? And so this is an area that it's important as a leader that you and your employee are aligned on the problem they're solving. Because if we say, for example, grow the revenue of Mario Kart, in your mind, you're thinking you want them to pass along a price increase, but they're focusing on going and getting new users, you will find that the tactics that they're deploying are misaligned from your expectation. And you guys will get to the end and maybe they'll grow revenue a bit, but it might not be in the way in which you believe that it would be the ultimate success. So it is important that before you go farther along in the plan and tactics and execution, that if you sat down and you said, this is your number one priority, that you're clear on what is the problem, what is the opportunity, what is the scope of the work that you want them to solve or execute. And in this stage, it is important to not only articulate the problem you want to solve, but it's also important that you're clear on the things you don't want them to do. So let me go back to the example of growing revenue for Mario Kart. If you don't want them to raise pricing, you want the growth of revenue to be focused on new users, you have to be clear in this point to say, I want us to grow revenue, but that does not include a price increase. So it's important that when you talk about the problem you're trying to solve, you're clear on the scope, you're clear on the measurement that you're looking at, and you're also clear on what you don't want them to do. Next week, we're going to go into what I call our current conditions. What do we know about the priority or the problem that we want to solve today that will actually influence the next steps that we'll take? Until next week, thanks everyone.
Because